Hello, Otterbein residents, families, friends, and partners. Kendra with you again here today to share an update with you. I do want to let you know that along with this video that I will also be sending out a letter. I'm not sure which one you'll see or get first, but there will be a letter coming out from me with even a little more detail than I'll share on this video. That should go out in campus mail tomorrow, so do look for that in your campus mail. So first of all, I just want to say a big shout out to our caregivers and all of our partners. It is National Nursing Home Week, so it gives us an opportunity to do some fun things and just show how much we appreciate all of them. So happy Nursing Home Week to all of our partners and our residents. So with that being said, moving on, I want to share with you, it's hard to believe that it's been 8 weeks since we put in some pretty aggressive restrictions here on campus. Actually, this week was the start of week 9. It feels a little bit longer than that. I don't know about all of you. What I want to do is, I know it's been difficult. I know you've had lots of questions and just curious about things and what the future looks like. But what I do want to one important thing I want to make sure I say, that I want to thank all of our partners. They have really stepped up and working in a lot of ways out of their norm. And I so appreciate all of their efforts and the care and compassion and creativity that they've shown during this time. And then with that being said, of course, I want to thank all of our residents and our families and our friends of Otterbein. I can't even imagine how challenging this has been on some of you, and I'm so thankful for your support and again the care and compassion that you've shown to us and words of kindness, and I do share all those, as I've mentioned before, with the partners, so thank you for that. In a couple of previous communications, we had shared with you that we took a rather bold step and started the Otterbein Offensive, which is early testing and testing of caregivers, really partners, not just our frontline staff, but partners and residents who may even be asymptomatic, to do our part so we can identify that and isolate them so that we can help stop the spread of the virus. Because those asymptomatic folks, don't even realize that they're walking around carrying the virus. So this is really an aggressive step that we're taking, and I do believe it's working. To date, I do want to share with you, we started the testing on April 20th. And I want to share with you that to date, we have tested 369 residents and 231 partners. So we've been doing a lot of testing. I also want to share with you that, again, being proactive and aggressive, we are going to continue to test periodically, again, so those that are working around that don't have any symptoms, that we can get them isolated as quickly as possible to help stop the spread. With that being said, I do also want to make sure you understand that all of those tests, partners and residents, they consist of all of our levels of care. So healthcare, assisted living, and our independent living residents living in a congregate setting. So that's where all of that testing has occurred. We do still have a few tests out, and we are waiting on those results. So any pending tests are not in those numbers I've shared with you just now. Those are tests that we've given and that we've received the results. As a reminder, we did, if you recall, back in early April, we were notified that a contractor, specifically a physician's assistant, tested positive for COVID-19. I'm happy to share with you that he is doing well and back working, and took all of the necessary steps he needed to once he received that positive test. I also shared with you a few weeks ago that we had a nurse. She is an Otterbein Lebanon partner, and she periodically works on the Aurora, our assisted living, and she too tested positive. Now, please remember that this we were able to identify this through this aggressive testing that we're doing, the Otterbein Offensive, because she showed no symptoms. I think I even shared with you when we called her, she was shocked because she feels good and still does. And I'm also happy to share that she has since received 2 negative tests back to back, so she is no longer testing positive for the virus, which is great news for her. With that, I do want to share with you that we have just learned that we have our first resident who has tested positive for the virus. This resident lives in independent living in one of our apartments, and just like our nurse, feels fine, asymptomatic. So we identified this resident, just like the nurse, with our aggressive testing. So I can't say it enough. The Otterbein offensive, I do believe, is working. I also want to share with you that this resident is isolated in their apartment and will be for the next 14 days. We will provide this resident with anything they may need, mail, food, but anybody who goes to that apartment, we will be very restricted on who goes up, and they will be in full protective equipment when they go into the apartment, should they need to. So I do want to make sure that you were aware of that. All other tests to date that have come back are negative. And listen, I do want to make sure you understand having a positive case is not unexpected. We hear from all of the health officials that settings like ours, congregate living type settings, is where it is spreading the fastest, if you will. So I think we're very blessed that with all of those, the testing numbers I just gave you, close to 600, not even that, yeah, about 600 tests, that to have only 2 positive cases so far, I think we're doing something right, and again, doing our part. As I mentioned, testing will also continue, so we're not backing off just yet. So we're going to continue to keep testing our residents and our partners. I also, as I mentioned in my video last week, I recognize that the governor is slowly opening things up, and that's happening in phases. Again, with settings like ours, I do anticipate that ours will be one of the last phases to open back up. And I also want to make sure that you are aware that our dining rooms, our beauty salons, our fitness areas, the YMCA, they will not be opening up until the foreseeable future, until we really feel like we have a handle on this virus and can truly keep everyone safe. I would also ask that you continue to do what we've all been talking about: wash your hands, wear your mask, social distance. So I ask that you also don't meet in group settings, and that you take all of those precautions into consideration when you're out and about. We are still restricting visitors. So again, I know as hard as it is not to see loved ones as much as you would like, we are still restricting all visitors to campus until further notice. So as the weather gets nicer and temperatures start to warm up, I know it gets a little more anxious, right? Or to go out and take a walk and have your family member come over. If you are out and about, again, I practice social distancing, but your family members right now are not permitted to come onto the campus and stroll the campus or hang out at the pavilion or any of our other common or group type areas. And again, I can't stress enough that we are doing this for your safety. And I do believe, as hard as all of these restrictions and precautions are, it's working. It's working to keep all of the partners and residents safe, and even your family members. And that's the only reason we're doing this, because it is of the utmost importance to myself, to all of the partners here at Otterbein Lebanon, and to all of the leadership across our ministry. So as hard as it is, I so very much appreciate your support. I do hope to see all of you very, very soon. And again, hope you're well, and please have a wonderful day.